Hello, guys and gals and cuckolds and everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about good old-fashioned TikTok. And now, ladies, I think TikTok should get a role in Matrix 4. I think Keanu Reeves is a little bit overrated because if anybody's the king of dodging bullets, it's in fact TikTok. If you haven't caught up on the news or you haven't been reading into it, I love following TikTok and I love following Apple versus Epic because it's a channel that primarily also does focus on a lot of user security, user privacy, data privacy. This TikTok deal means a lot to me, okay? Because it's filled with a whole lot of nothing nonsense while also having something massive to implicate and sort of lead the world forward whichever way it swings. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to start this video off in a very lighthearted approach, I wanted to share you my favorite trend on TikTok. Hashtag stocks. Almost 1 billion views, by the way. This puts Wall Street bets into shame. So basically, for people who want to be investors and day traders, which I'm going to be real with you, like 95% of people lose their money. I lost money starting out trading, and it only took a long time of sleepless nights, understanding trends, reading candlesticks, doing whatever in order to actually make a dent and make something of myself in the biz. When I look at hashtag stocks on TikTok, it makes me almost want to cry. So let's look at it through real quickly. How to buy stocks. How do you buy stocks? Oh, you look at a Lamborghini, invest money. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Wow. Wow! You want that Lambo? First of all, if you're investing in stocks and making multi-million dollars, why the hell would you waste your money on a crappy Lamborghini anyways? Just invest that money into a market and make way more. Why are you buying a money pit, you idiots? Jesus Christ. I like how they're explaining to you dividends and being a part owner of a company like Apple. Oh, can somebody explain to people that buying one share of Apple stock means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme? Oh, wait, how much do they have? 10 stocks? Well, 10 shares? Well, tell them it's still useless. Jesus Christ. Trade stocks, read the charts, invest. Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, Apple. You know, I own all of those things, and it's cute to own those stocks. Again, they're just showing the McLarens out like crazy. It goads everyone into the whole scenario. Basically, the whole fun of stock TikTok is, listen, there's actual legitimate stock TikTok accounts that you could follow. I just don't know any of them off the top of my head. It's like these people forget one of the unwritten rules is you gotta have some G Fuel in your system on that morning bell so you're ready and perked. I personally love Resident Evil G Fuel. Use code SOG, by the way. Save yourself a couple bucks. That's how the world works, buckos. But the best part about it is, if you ever want to get into it, there's a lot of free information online. I will say, if anybody in the stock game tells you join my free program, it's not a free program. It's like a 15-minute free program. Then they're going to try peddle you real information for like 20 bucks, 200 bucks, $1,000 to join their stock group. It's not worth it, boys and girls. It's a fucking pyramid scheme and you should know goddamn better. But that being said, we started off with one of those things, right? And why did I say stocks to begin with? Because it leads to the next best segue, okay? Yes, November 12th was going to be the day, next week, by the way. Not next week, 2 weeks from now, that TikTok was about to get into the axe block. Basically, TikTok was about to have situations where they were going to have their web host being restricted. Their content delivery was going to be restricted. Hey, those two things alone would have absolutely killed TikTok in America, okay? But they've managed to dodge the block. Now, this is actually a little surprising because of 3 TikTok creators, and I mean, I'm talking about TikTok creators whose like sizes are about 2.7 million subscribers, 2.3 million subscribers, and 1.8 million subscribers. No small TikTokers. These are big accounts, okay? These are accounts that make hundreds of thousands, if not millions a year, okay? And if you don't understand how it works, it all gets down to the sponsored post. Believe it or not, TikTok accounts, Instagram accounts, hell, YouTube accounts, per sponsored posts, really big accounts can make $10,000 to $20,000, even way more. If that sounds like an absurd amount of money to you, then let me introduce something called corporate advertising, okay? Basically, big companies will just tell you, hey, we'll give you 30 grand if you shill out our product. And if you do shill out the product, they actually make way more than the 30 grand. Even if they're on a loss, the fact that they got their name out in the world is big enough for them. I don't comprehend the full nature of marketing, but that's kind of the rough idea right there. TikTokers, like most influencers, make a lot of fucking money. You know when people start telling you about demonetization? Let me tell you something about demonetization. Demonetization on a lot of these platforms almost doesn't mean jack shit in the grand scheme of things, because quite often than not, if you're a smart person on this platform, you've probably found a billion ways to make way more money outside of the system than trying to slave within it. There's no reason that you have to suck off the algorithm if you can find other avenues of making cash. And TikTokers are some of the smartest people out there. We're talking so big that these people now have law firms that are able to go toe-to-toe with the United States Commerce Department in order to overturn a fucking block on a website, on a service that was being touted against, on the basis of national security. If that doesn't sound like a big fucking deal to you, that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty epic deal right there. Now, they started mentioning things like the For You page, which is unique among social media platforms, especially TikToks, because it allows little-known creators to show their content to a large audience. I guess that means TikTok promotes a lot of smaller users as well. Believe it or not, okay, this section right here, it gets me. This statute contains a non-exclusive, exemplary list of items which classify as informational materials. Informational, you say, into which the content exchanged by TikTok users clearly falls. The short videos created and exchanged on TikToks are expressive and informative, and are analogous to the films, artworks, photographs, and newswire feeds easily protected under Section 1702b3. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this, okay? The same website, not just 6 minutes ago, we looked at TikTok stocks, highly informative. We also looked at the fucking Holocaust war survivor roleplay game from a couple months ago. Yeah, this is... No, I agree. I 100% absolutely fucking agree. The commerce identification also represents, at minimum, an indirect regulation of these informational materials. The verb regulate means to control. Yeah, I get the dictionary. Relax. Calm down, courts. The point of this is TikTok has been given sort of this this pass, like, hey, if you start banning creators or you start banning voices, then you're going to start banning things that people hold very near and dear to them. Things that fall under creative, the whole creative umbrella, right? Like the right to exist debate, right? Like, what is art? What is whatever? Now, I actually agree with the judges over here. I think TikTokers can be informative, and I think they can be. All of my jokes and stuff aside and my sarcasm, there are plenty of TikTok channels that do provide some quality entertainment. Okay, as much as some people are biased against that statement, they do provide some quality entertainment. And of course, you have to understand there's definitely news organizations that do use TikTok, much like news organizations use YouTube to spread a message. So this whole legal docket that they have definitely is on their side. Now, this takes me to the whole scenario right here. I honestly feel TikTok is letting this go on because it's really fucking good PR. It's really fucking good advertising. You will never stop hearing about TikTok. And why is TikTok this in the news? Like, this is not just some random social media company. This is the first social media company that China has pretty much created. And China, well, not the first one that they've made, but it is definitely the first social media company that has taken the world by storm. If you don't have a TikTok account, then I guess most of the TikTokers will consider you a fucking boomer. Hell, 5 years from now, I might even consider you a boomer too. TikTok is unfortunately, or fortunately, for whatever side you look at it, part of the overall society. It's part of social media. It's part of how these influencers operate. There are people on TikTok that have far more influence than people on YouTube, Twitch, or whatever service. There are big celebrities on here. Dude, literally in Toronto, there are people with TikTokers with their name in billboards. Like, it's fucking big. It's a big deal. And some of these people are underage. Imagine, there are people under the age of 16 that are full-on TikTokers that are making multiple millions a fucking year because they have super awesome brand deals and advertising rights. This is a whole new fucking industry that's kicked off. This takes me to the last section of this video, and that's national security. Now, national security is something that I feel is very loaded, and it very easily scares the heck out of people. When I look at things like TikTok, I look at the first social media application that another country has made that's on our side of the pond, and it's taken our people by storm. I think the most important debate to be raised from this, and the most important thing why I love making these videos, is no matter how much TikTok comes into the news, What most people who never thought about it a year ago now actually are thinking about it is how their data is being collected and it's being used by parties around the world. I look at a lot of these legal cases and I finally noticed for the first time that the United States, which had a massive lead in data gathering and data technology and gathering of user data around the world, again, may I remind you, the same country that had the PRISM program that was constantly stalking multiple people and profiling individuals like it was watchdogs. And that's the notion of how your data is being transited. That's the whole reason this fucking lawsuit started. That's the whole reason these executive orders are being pulled. At the end of the day, one side finally feels threatened, but I say that this should be a notion where people look at it and say, listen, nobody should ever have their data being like sent around or used without their permission. It's not easy to say that, and it's not easy to even enforce that as one person. Unfortunately, we live in a world where our data is tied to a lot of these fucking top tier tech services that we used. Even without us wanting to, there's most definitely a chance that my name, your name, and everyone's name is floated around multiple different servers with or without our consent. That being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, the more of thought that you put into how your data is being used, whether it be on Twitter, whether it being gathered by YouTube or Google or TikTok, you should look into it and you should assess it very carefully. It doesn't matter what side of the world looks at your data the most, whether it be the Americans or whether it be the Chinese or whether it be the Indians. At the end of the day, you should worry about your data the most. So I know we went off on a lot of different tangents, but if you can ever look at all of my TikTok videos, the ending always is the same. And it's me trying to peddle this message over and over and over again. Look, I know a lot of people write me off as this weird, like, conspiratorial nut job sometime. Like, maybe I'm way too paranoid. At the end of the day, I don't put more effort into being paranoid, quote unquote, with like my virtual machine setups and like how I control and monitor my data. At the end of the day, it should be a message that I pass on to you, and you should try to at least incorporate some of that into your internet habits. At the end, the most valuable thing we have now in the world we live in is our data. And if you're not securing it and making sure that it's properly monitored on your end, then you're giving up on what essentially is more valuable than you going forward. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.